Sheriff Todd Baxter, employees of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. District Attorney Sandra Doorley, employees of the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Alex Renzi, New York State Supreme Court. Paul C. Metzler and James Lane Jr., Pennsylvania Town Court. My name is Chris Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I have been an innocent man in jail 6 times, and 6 times the prosecutor's not talked in court. Perry Douglas and Mark Monahan and Michelle Crowley, the District Attorney's Office, what are the names of my prosecutors on this Freedom of Information law that has arrived in your office for 18 plus months is my Gmail, cchichesterjul4 at gmail.com. My phone number 813-648-4441. My address 620 Park Avenue, PNB number 361, Rochester, New York 14604. Send me the names of my prosecutors of silence, and you will continue to refuse because you're corrupt. So there's only 13 on here. So I'll show you the foil, which is going to include the prosecutor's silence before Paul C. Metzler and John P. Metzler Jr. Pennsylvania Town Court, and who elevated me to this $208,000 70-year-old hacking fossil, Alex Renzi, the hackocracy of New York State Supreme Court, who has no idea what's happening to me. You're forcing me into these courtrooms and you know you don't have to talk as I'm delivered to jail. How is any citizen in the state of New York from Montauk to Buffalo in jail when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court? So I have the green cards that come back to me as I use registered mail return receipt on you. What I'm saying to you now will arrive because I will go to the post office and I will fill this out like I've been doing for 18 months. When I fill this out, this is the green card that comes back to me. This comes to you. This is on the envelope. Do you understand how this works in the United States of America, where I'm a citizen, I'm demanding information of you? I'm not asking you. When something's in the form of a question, I'm telling you to disclose this information to me. So I show you that because it comes back to me. And then I know that the District Attorney of Monroe County, Sandra Doorley, has received my Freedom of Information law. Well, I'm telling this sociopath and hack who uses her help because she wants to be a pathetic sympathy case to disclose and answer my prosecutor's silence. So this is only Sandra Doorley. This is also Todd Baxter and Alex Renzi, Paul C. Metzler, James Lane Jr., Janice McNair, patronage hire at the Office of Public Integrity. I'm going to be talking about him soon again. Did you call County Executive Adam Bell, Sheriff Todd Baxter, about this patronage hire? Well, Janice McNair is now a double dipper like you. So this is not in any particular order of the date. This is only Sandra Doorley. I believe at the end is Mark Monahan and Perry Douglas and Lisa Gray, the counsel. So I'm not going to read the dates in the interest of time. Every single time that this arrives, this is the Freedom of Information law. District Attorney Monroe County Sandra Doorley doesn't know if she's a Republican or a Democrat because she'll say anything. Looks at it, refuses, and this is why she's corrupt. So last thing that I arrive at when I know I arrive is going to be Mark Monahan. So I'm just going to say the District Attorney's name and the date if I can make it out. And I'm not going to read the signature. I can't make it out. And this is why she's corrupt. It's not in any particular order. I read her name. As far as the date, Sandra Doorley, 1/3/2023, 1/13/2023, 1/18/2023, 1/12/2023, 1/10/2023, 9/27/2023, 2/3/2023, 9/30/2022, 10/3/2023, 10/3/2022, 10/11/2022, 11/11/2022. As I continue, 11/2/2022, District Attorney Sandra Doorley R. Smith. This is undated. Sandra Doorley, I don't know that date. Sandra Doorley is undated again. I think that's R. Smith again. I can't make that out. That's February 6th. This is 10/17/2022. This is 10/25/2022. District Attorney Sandra Doorley. This is 10/28/2022. I have other ones too. This is just what I decided to read now. In the interest of time, 10/31, Halloween, Sandra Doorley. In her Halloween costume, she thinks she's an attorney. looked at this on Halloween. Well, I'm telling her, using the legal binding document, that's the Freedom of Information Law, to disclose names by prosecutors, and this sick hack refused. So I can't make this name out here. That's the District Attorney's Office on 7/14/7/24/2023. This is recently. So Shaniqua Birmingham, I think is her name, Sandra on 12/7/2022. This just says District Attorney on 1/19/2023. This is on 1/20/2023. It's 12/24/2022. 1/25/2023. 1/26/2023. 1/30/2023. 1/31/2023 is right there, January. Now this is Lisa Gray. This is why you're corrupt, Lisa Gray. The $87,000 counsel to the district attorney. I believe I have that right. Lisa Gray guesses she's the Freedom of Information Law if she looks at it. Knows I'm telling her, and more importantly, her boss, disclose the names of my prosecutor's silence. Lisa Gray doesn't care. She blows it off. She's indifferent. His justice is alien to counsel to the district attorney. There is Lisa Gray again. That date was 2/3, same thing. Lisa Gray again. And every single time, the district attorney of Monroe County is refusing. Just like her employees, who I believe tell her what to do. Like this one here. Perry Douglas, the district attorney's office, the deputy district attorney, on this July 24, 23. You get the Freedom of Information, you look at it, you're indifferent to it, you blow it off. Perhaps you don't even open up the envelope. It just doesn't matter to you that I'm a citizen. I'm in a courtroom. A taxpayer financed public employee as assistant director district attorney is assigned to my case. And you open this up, you opened it, look at the Freedom of Information Law, it didn't matter to you. This is called corruption. Mark Monahan, this is on July 24th. Mark Monahan, I think he had $110,000 assistant district attorney, it didn't matter to him. An assistant district attorney in character would go to his boss, the district attorney, and say, this is a citizen that's been in our courtrooms in Monroe County before 3 judges, and he has prosecutors that are taxpayer financed public employees, Madam District Attorney, and we need to tell him and disclose to him the names of our prosecutors that are prosecuting him. Now, what he's not going to say is the total silence. That's what an assistant district attorney with ethics would do, because in a bureaucratic structure as powerful as the district attorney's office, especially where I work for the governor of New York, a majority of the year, the staff with ethics, even if the staff is in fear, because I have to do this, will go and tell the boss what the boss needs to hear, even though the boss doesn't want to hear it. And this didn't happen during Watergate. And that's why Watergate happened. Well, a reason why, among 500 reasons why. Staffers with morality and ethics and integrity at high levels of government will go to the elected boss and tell the elected boss what that elected boss needs to do in order to be ethical and moral and decent. And if you had any ethics and morality and decency, Perry Douglas and Mark Monahan, when you received this, you went to your boss and said, this is a citizen that's been in courtrooms in Monroe County. Our prosecutors assigned to his cases, disclose the names to him. That didn't happen. So, back to Sandra Doorley again. It's the first one I read. It's corruption every single time. Again, this $208,000 hacking fossil has nothing. Wants to get into my head. Alex Renzi in New York State Supreme Court wants to examine the contents of my head. How many times I've been in contact with him. Lisa Preston, his clerk, too. I believe his clerk, just like the Supreme Court, tells Alex Renzi what to do. And when I'm telling Alex Renzi, like when I contacted him on 118, I don't know the exact language, but I've said this on YouTube. If he clicks on YouTube, I'll say, why am I up here in front of you? Did Alex Renzi just summon me into New York State Supreme Court? So I've said this, I believe, in the writing. I certainly said this on YouTube if he watches me. Do I not have an assistant district attorney for Alex Renzi and his $208,000 7-year-old hack and fossil just decided I'm going to be in his courtroom? I think that's highly implausible, because the only reason why he knows my name is because of the district attorney's office. How am I appearing in front of the supervising judge and not one of the 18 other hacks that got me? You're making decisions about my life to smash me into a million little pieces where you don't have to talk at that revolting shack district attorney's office. I have no idea what's happening to me as you're making these decisions at 47 South Fitzhugh. Isn't that right, Lisa Preston? Lisa Preston is the clerk to Alex Renzi, who I've sent documentation to. It's sick lunatic fringe. This is why I wrote the criminal complaint. This is a parking lot in Penfield that brings me to the attention of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. I'm past 50. I'm going to be in handcuffs for the first time because this cop freak, that $67,000 Shannon Meyer. I'm walking this parking lot for 4,000 times. A man named Nayrod Shah is up here, starts screaming and has this confrontation. When Nayrod Shah, 50 man lives with his 7-year-old mother, Layla Kumar Shah, goes to the sheriff's office and demands that I be arrested for walking through a parking lot. This is the essence of false reporting, and it's the 20 people a day walk this parking lot. My residence is over here. That's the residence right there where I used to live. And when I look out the window, I can see people walk through this parking lot all day long. It's not a crime to walk this parking lot. He's mentally ill, he's sick, he's anything that's not normal. I use mentally ill in a general way because I'm not a doctor. And on the accusatory entry for me, it's not Nayrod Shah, it's his mother, Layla Kumar Shah. And that's bizarre. So I get this call from this cop freak, then $67,000 Shannon Meyer. And throughout the course of this 60-minute agonizing conversation, I say to her, people walk through this parking lot all day long, including my excellent friend who lives next to me, the elderly woman across the street, Penfield High School, and their red athletic apparel. Why are you calling me? And I don't hear anything from this then $67,000 cop freak. This is why people hate the police. This is what she does. She tells a man named Steve Desmond, a broccoli tree in lawn care, ride your tractor along his residence. If this Chris Chichester comes out of his residence, we'll be there to arrest him. The problem with that, Sheriff Todd Baxter, Michael Riley, Kathleen Miller, William Tadeo, Scott Alberti, the sheriff's office, for me to walk outside your stand and say nobody owns the land, walk back on my rights, that's not a crime. Anywhere in the state of New York, except at the revolting Monroe County Sheriff's Office with this disgusting freak Shannon Meyer. How is it possibly a crime to just walk out here, be out here for 30 seconds, say nobody owns the land, and walk back on rents? And I know my right arm is moving just like my right arm is moving right now because I'm on a camera, also called a surveillance device, affixed to this building right here at 2025 Penfield Road, where Elliot Roth is president. And you know you can embarrass and humiliate me when I use that phrase. I'm going to show it again. I've showed it over and over. I have the color photo here of it. And Todd Baxter, this Benito Mussolini skinhead, has refused to tell me if this is private technology, if he bought it and fixed it for me. It's not a crime to walk through this parking lot. When Nayrod Shah and Kumar Shah go to the sheriff's office, demand I be arrested, where you have to expend taxpayer resources of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, this is falsely reporting an incident. How many times do you use civilians? In the concoction of a crime for a citizen? So the prosecutors are silenced. The freaks are right here because this is the payroll for the district attorney's office. Julie Hahn, my prosecutor, John Pimenzo Jr. I don't know, you know Perry Douglas, and you know Mark Monahan. What's the name of this 5'2" three-piece suit boy before Paul Silvestri, like Regina Harper, at the public defender's office said to me, quote, the prosecutor's not backing down? I don't know. My last appearance in New York State Supreme Court when I was in front of Alex Renzi, he says to me, you're finished and done, and that's not true. Because I come here to YouTube to inflame you freaks, the district attorney's office, sheriff's office. I know I'm successful. I'll be back in handcuffs again. I'll be back in jail again, where you don't have to talk to the district attorney's office. You don't have to make an argument that I committed a crime. When I was in front of Alex Renzi, I looked behind me, and these two females, my prosecutors are not. They court employees. I don't know. Tell me what the answer is. In the process of getting transcripts made, for every time I've been on YouTube, which is more than 100 times, you can see what I've said. So I contacted the Department of Justice. These are the criminal complaints here. Passion 4 criminal complaints with this language. That Richard J. Seaman, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, walked into Penfield Public Library in Penfield, New York, ran at Christopher Chichester, slammed his arm with the head of Chichester, causing him to fall backwards and hit his head on the driving tile floor. 2. Nayrod Shah, Lane Kumar Shah, 2033 Penfield Road, 14526, false reporting the incident of Christopher Chichester falling 26 cents from drive, walking through a parking lot next to his residence. 3. Antonio Spano, Fairport, New York, locked the front and back doors of the residence 26 cents from driving Penfield, New York, without a court order. Laura Riley Webster and transport the personal belongings of Christopher Chichester 26 cents from driving Penfield to his stores like Webster without a court order. I have nothing left of my life with my landlord locking me out without a court order, my girlfriend taking everything out through stores locker. Every single one of these has been notarized by Christopher Price, the Monroe branch of the Rochester Public Library. That's one of them right there. I think that's the one for these freak shot. And then the 5th complaint is this one here. Cop freak, perjurer Michael Wuhan involved in the death of a human being. Employees of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office are killing people. That's Michael Nguyen. I'm not going to talk about the details of that right now because I'm still researching the facts and circumstances of it. So I'm going to show you, this is my handwriting about Michael Nguyen. Everything in this handwriting here is in this text. Since my handwriting is poor, I always write it out so it can be seen, like right here. So this is the criminal complaint about cop freak perjurer Michael Nguyen. Should be fired immediately. Lying under oath and involved in the death of human beings. A wrecking ball cop at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office that Todd Baxter embraces because Todd Baxter is a wrecking ball cop. Quote, that 73312 Michael C. Nguyen in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office walked onto private property costing the residents 26 cents from John Penn, New York, Christopher Chichester. That Nguyen ran at Chichester approximately 1 a.m. with $85,000 down by the dead of the Sheriff's Office. The Chichester ran away from Nguyen and better identifying where the identities. That Chichester grabbed the hammer alongside the residence next to his bike used to fix the bike's tire. That as Chichester placed his foot on the first of 3 steps in the back porch, Nguyen grabbed his arm, the hammer in Chichester's hands forced upwards. Chichester ran across the back porch to the sliding glass door, and as Chichester never stopped running. It is impossible to swing the hammer at 73312 Michael Nguyen. What's not to understand about that? I would have said this directly to you, Michelle Crowley. You would have convened that grand jury and had me sit in the witness box. You could have bombarded me with question after question after question in front of these 18 to 24 anonymous grand jurors. Is it 18 to 24? That's what I believe it is. How did you pick these grand jurors, too? You want the stupidest people that you can manipulate. That's how. So you have it. The freaks are right here. Tell me the names of my prosecutors' sons. And you know $140,000 public defender Julie Cianto. You know $87,000 Mark Phillips. So this is the Freedom of Information Law dated this September 7, 2023. The grand jury that I just mentioned. Information about the grand jury convened by District Attorney Sandra, Doorley, 2 Target, Christopher Chichester as 1 day, month, and year the grand jury is convened. 2, the assigned District Attorney's Office employed at just 5 transfers to grand jury proceedings. What's not to understand? Michelle Crowley, Perry Douglas, Mark Monahan. This is my life, where I'm now your ham sandwich. Street Bonfire and Vanities by Tom Wolfe, because he uses that phrase in that book. It was made into a film with Tom Hanks. Why don't you just call me the grand jury, Michelle Crowley? I've said this over and over now. I've written this repeatedly. I think I've written this 30 times. You're refusing every single time to tell me what happened. Michael Nguyen purges himself in front of that grand jury. It does not matter to you freaks and sociopaths at the District Attorney's Office. Just as it doesn't matter to the freaks and sociopaths at the Sheriff's Office. Richard J. Seaton is watching my rents. I don't know, this is the last time I leave my rents. I lived that for 8 years, 26 cents from drive Penfield. You can see from Penfield Road. I walk into Penfield Public Library. Seaton runs out and he slams his arm into my head. I fall backwards. My head hits the ceramic tile floor. I had money in my pocket, $61.39. So you have the criminal complaint about Seaton. Send my money back to me, Sheriff Todd Baxter. Freedom of Information on the issuance of a new check to Christopher Chichester, address below expired check in the amount of $61.39. The county of our office of sheriff and may fund the account because that's the dollar amount in the pocket of Chichester when he's violently attacked at Penfield Public Library, 75904, which is JC, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. He needs to have an immediate mental health evaluation. He should be fired, but he won't. Todd Baxter surrounds himself with cop freaks like this that attack innocent citizens. It's totally irrelevant to him. He cannot withstand a mental health evaluation. He certainly cannot withstand what I've had to go through, which is a 730 mental health evaluation. There are employees at the District Attorney's Office that can be found incompetent based on the way the evaluator can do the 730 mental health evaluation. Because I was asked during one, are they out to get you? And my response was, that's a ridiculous question. I don't know what you're talking about, which is true. It is a ridiculous question. I don't know what that person's talking about. And this 730 was used to slam me and send me north to Syracuse. When I ridiculed that question, this is what you're doing to me. Where did I go in north to Syracuse? I haven't stated the name of the place, north to Syracuse, or where I went at the Monroe County Jail the first time. But I will when I contact the appropriate bureaucracies in Albany and Washington, D.C. about you freak Sheriff Todd Baxter and you freak District Attorney Sandra Doorley. Send me that check. That's the price of violence. So, when I was in Penfield Court, Paul C. Metzer stated the name of this place on Elmwood Avenue where I was for 3 weeks with a man named John who thinks he's in a concentration camp and a man named Victor who drews on himself. And Dr. Jeremy Smith said to me, when I didn't have a 7:30 mental health evaluation when I was introduced into this place, you shouldn't be here, I'll write the order. And then I was released. I saw Dr. Smith again because my last time in Monroe County Jail, I was driven over to UR Medical Center. And there I am at the medical center, I think, for 4 or 5 days. And I saw Dr. Smith. And I talked to him, where I had already known about the 7:30 mental health evaluation. I'm at this place on Elmwood Avenue because of a fake, phony document concocted by Dr. Caroline Easton at the Rochester Institute of Technology, who I subsequently met. And I held up this fake document to her, and I said, this is supposed to be an examination of my mental health, and you've never met me? So I have contacted the president of the Rochester Institute of Technology about this Dr. Caroline Easton, and I don't hear anything. And they're copied on this too. The president of RIT and Caroline Easton are copied on this YouTube right now. What's your response to me, Dr. Caroline Easton, and your fake, phony, fraudulent document? I think the president of RIT is, I have to do this from memory, is David Munson. And I've been on YouTube about him, too, talking to him. So I have to check that. I'm just doing that from memory. So, Paul C. Metzler has violated the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996. His you, Sheriff Todd Baxter, delivered my health care records to her. Well, you're invading my privacy. My former employers would hold hearings on health care records. United States Senate, United States House of Representatives. I was in the hearing for the House Judiciary Committee once where the members were talking about privacy and healthcare records. And my privacy is not properly protected when my privacy is in the hands of Paul C. Metzler, this $28,000 bald-headed widow that's been unleashed upon me by you freaks at the District Attorney's Office. For more information, a copy of private healthcare records delivered $28,000 Paul C. Metzler by Sheriff Todd Baxter in violation of Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996. Federal crime. So I have 3 freaks at least. I believe I have multiple freaks, but there's at least 3. When I say multiple, I could have 10 prosecutors. What are their names? Is this Julie Hahn or is this not Julie Hahn? Or is it someone that's presently at the District Attorney's Office? Because there's Julie Hahn in Monroe County Court with 17% of the vote when she's not the victor. A joke. So, documentation for the case for Christopher Charles of the Penalty Court where John P. Menzel Jr. was named the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley. This is the payroll for the District Attorney's Office. Either it's Freak Julie Hahn of Monroe County Court, or the freak is on here, or the freak has been fired. You know the names on this September 7th of these prosecutors, including this one who didn't talk before John P. Menzel Jr. is delivered to Monroe County Jail. What's the name of that female prosecutor? So, John P. Menzel Jr. retired. Paul C. Metzler was elected with this ridiculous 5,000 votes. And this is the boy in his 3-piece suit that Regina Harper said the prosecutor's not backing down. This boy doesn't call me. There's no contact between this boy and me. He could call me just like all my prosecutors, District Attorney's Office to interview me. You just want to obliterate me in silence. Where the District Attorney assigned to me, the Assistant District Attorney, is silent. Because it's impossible to make an argument that I committed a crime. Freedom of information on documentation for the case of Christopher Charles of the Court. Paul C. Metzler was named the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley. This freak boy sent me to Livingston County Jail in Geneseo, where I don't live. Same jail, Tops mass murderer Peyton Gendron is in. I saw a violent attack here. I had to get a statement to a state investigator, too, that I've talked about. So which one of you freaks is sociopath, elevated media, Alex Renzi? Because he's the Freedom of Information Law. He said to me, I finished done. It's not true. I will be back in jail again. I'll be back in front of him or someone else. You just compel me and force me to go into where you don't have to utter one single word for me to be delivered to jail. Freedom of Information on the documentation for the case of Christopher Charles of the New York State Supreme Court, Alex Renzi, what is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley? If it wasn't for this freak prosecutor right here, I would be back in Albany, New York right now. Or do I not have a prosecutor and he just knows me for some reason? and he compels me to be in front of him. I don't know. He'll refuse to answer too because Alex Renzi is corrupt. In fact, the doctors, Dan Gloucester, you know exactly what I'm talking about. On Armored Tail Luster, this accused child rapist, John P. Menzo Jr. releases him. I want to see his defective doctors, Paul C. Menzo, James Line Jr., sentence me when I contact the Office of Court Administration in Albany. That's how I will get them. I will eventually get these documents. I'll be honest with you, be able to look at these so-called defective documents, Dan Gloucester III, because another entity will deliver them to me. These two will refuse. The $28,000 fossil and $34,000 fossil, Paul C. Menzo, James Line Jr. The quote defective documents end quote cited by John P. Menzo Jr. The case of Daniel Gloucester III, the Democratic Chronicle, is the fanaticism of his little room. He does not recuse himself from the appearance of Daniel Gloucester III, John P. Menzo Jr. when he knows the family. So, I'm going to get the fanaticism. I'm going to show you a picture I never thought that I would hold up in my life that you easily can lie about and have lied about. So, this is Sexual Harassment Act, the District Attorney's Office, Sheriff's Office. Sexual harassment is a man forcibly touching a woman. She says in the office, keep your hands to yourself, don't touch me. Sexual harassment is a man asking a woman out on what's commonly called a date over and over and over, and she says no. Sexual harassment is lewd, vile, vulgar, profane language, oftentimes with misogyny that makes it impossible to focus and concentrate in the office. Any number of ways that this dehumanizing behavior destroys soul. Is a Sexual Harassment Act, the District Attorney's Office, Sheriff's Office, District Attorney Sandra, Doorley, Sheriff Todd, Baxter, refusing for 18 months. Freedom of Information Law, the cost taxpayers, monitoring Sheriff Todd Baxter, suspended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits, failed to comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I don't use sexual harassment in this document because that's too limiting. Freedom of Information Law, the cost taxpayers, Monroe County District Attorney Sandra, Doorley, expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits, failed to comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So sure you know that is the most important law of the 20th century. Are you in compliance with the most important law of 20th century? Sheriff Todd Baxter, District Attorney Sandra Doorley. I will eventually write this for Penfield Town Court and New York State Supreme Court, and they're going to do what Todd Baxter and Sandra Doorley have been doing for 18 months, which is refuse to comply with the law. So over time and a half, this, I believe, can immediately remove you from office. If you have 100 employees at the sheriff's office, Todd Baxter, have doubled their salaries, and they're all being paid more money than you with overtime, you cannot remain in office. You will have to go. Is that the case or not? I believe it is. I believe you have 100 employees, Todd Baxter, paying more money than your $132,000 salary set in statute. Because you already have Corey Brown and Michael Fowler being paid $155,000, $163,000. Do Corey Brown and Michael Fowler earn overtime and on these $200,000 cops? Freedom of Information, the total cost of overtime, time and effort, I'll pay down a base salaries calculated tomorrow from the Sheriff's Office, Todd Baxter. So as far as overtime and time and a half here, District Attorney right here is the second name, 210,900. So can you parry it up? Because at 144,721, can you be paid more money with overtime than Sandra Doorley or time and a half, however that's done? Matthew Schwartz, 135, Mark Bonham, 141, Nancy Gillian, 118, Michelle Crowley, 131, Sarah Van Stryk, 131, Monica Bryan, 117, Meredith Smith, 110, Raymond Benitez, 131, Liz Trulove, 107, Robin Catalano, 135, Liz Buckley, 131, Michael Harrigan, 135, Michael Beazel, 113, Greg Clark, 114, Jennifer Heyer, 124, Amanda Bowling, 124, Eleanor Biggers, 118, Scott Miles, 120, Charles Dominic, 107, Patrick Gallagher, 124, Rachel Clark, 124, Bianca DiNangelo, 114, Jennifer Kenny, 111. All those six-figure employees. Can every single one of those six-figure employees be paid more money than $210,900 Sandra Doorley? Yes or no? And she'll refuse to comply because she's corrupt. I will contact Controller Thomas B. DiNapoli in the next 2 weeks and explain to him what I've been doing here with the FOIL and with overtime, time and a half, however that's done, and how you're refusing. I believe that Sandra Doorley cannot survive an audit. Survive an audit meaning she will have to resign because she's drenched in corruption just by the way she allows innocent citizens to be delivered to jail, and she has to have a conviction integrity unit because the district attorney has no idea what's going on in courts in Monroe County as the civil and constitutional rights of innocent citizens are violated. So, total cost of overtime, time and a half, I'll pay them by base salaries calculated at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, Sandra Doorley. Tell me what the answer is. On this September 7th. Lunatic Fringe is right here. That's it right there. Black and white photo. You'll get in this PDF. Also was found as vice purchase from taxpayer dollars and fixed to a building 2025 Pemberton Road to monitor Christopher Johnson, 26 Central Drive, walks to the park lot next to the building. And that's the lunatic fringe. It's on this building right here. You can go look at it. You can drive over to drive to the parking lot. This is 2025 Pemberton Road. It's right here on the building. Elliot Roth, you know the answer. It's not a crime to walk to that parking lot. So the high resolution color photo is right here, and that's it. Maybe you can call Lindsay Barrett again, the Monmouth County Office of Mental Health. She can chase me wherever she wants in Monmouth County, Rochester, when I go for my run again. So, and when I send this to you, January 16, 2023, Todd Baxter. This photograph is why I'm fanatic. This photograph is why I'm extreme. This photograph is why I lie. This photograph is why I know the name of your $67,000 Scott Stamp Santa Mar. This photograph is why people hate the police. So, now, this is the last one. The name is Sandra, public employee, Pemberton Town Court, 1985 Bad Road, Pemberton, New York, 14526. That's it. You got 13 here. 13, freedom of information, law, documents. You will comply with 0 because you're corrupt. So, this is here, February 9th, 2023, YouTube Silence of Violence, Silence of the District Attorney's Office, leaving the accompanied by the Violence of the Sheriff's Office. I sent this packet to Sandra, Doorley, and Todd Baxter, and it didn't matter to them. Well, I'm telling you what's happening to me. It's my letter to Robert J. Valente, the United States Department of Veterans Affairs, where Robert has been helping me. I'm going to show you, you see your emails right here where it says the blue wall silence. And I did not write any language on here. In this, the blue wall silence talk about how being violently attacked by Richard J. Seaton, the unidentified employee at the Sheriff's Office. Does not matter to the District Attorney and Sheriff's Office. When they seize the blue wall silence, the most common cliche for corrupt cops, that I'm being violently attacked by corrupt cops. So that arrives at the District Attorney's Office, just like right here, Sandra Doorley, where it says information, comply with the attached freedom of information law document, mail the names on process, silence, signed by court appearances, the address is Ball, Rochester, and where it's on. So on this February 5th, 2023, this arrives at the District Attorney's Office. It arrives repeatedly. It will arrive registered mail return receipt, and then it can arrive UPS or FedEx. The District Attorney looks at this and refuses it. That's why she's corrupt. This is Regina Harper and Mark Phillips of the Public Defender's Office. This was in the envelopes they sent back to me. Well, I'm telling the Public Defender's Office to tell me the names of prosecutors, and they're refusing. So this is Psychopaths Inc. It's the letter referred to the Sheriff's Office where telling you freaks, sociopath. Now, Lisa Gray, your copy on here again. Lisa Gray, L. Ray, Elizabeth Buckley, Mark O'Brien, M. Schwartz, M. Crowley, M. Monahan, M. Beezer, C. Bolkman, R. Catalano, J. Hyde, P. Gallagher, S. Miles, M. Robertson, Lisa Gray, Special Counsel for the District Attorney. I'm telling you that Michael Hoonan's a perjurer on you. I'm telling you Richard J. Stevens is a violent freak. And I'm telling you on this YouTube over and over, disclose names by prosecutors, and you're refusing every single time. So on here, fanaticism, perjury, violence, rejection, accountability. I'm telling you about silence and violence again. So on this January 26th, comply with attached PDF dated January 26, 2023. This is 73 freedom of information law document attached PDF arrived in your office. Didn't comply. So I'm not going to go through every one here. There's about 50 pages here on this January 24th. The most basic 2-word sentence for you at the District Attorney's Office, Sheriff's Office, you freaks. Apply with the attached PDF dated January 24th. That is 70 freedom of information law documents. This attached PDF will arrive in your office. We register my return receipt. United States Postal Service tomorrow. So there's more in here, but on that February 9th, it arrived. District Attorney looked at it, refused, because the District Attorney of Monroe County, Sandra Doorley, is corrupt. When we take fringe, using cameras on me for a parking lot I've walked through 4,000 times in my New York's 4,000 time. Criminal Sheriff's Office would drive over to my residence. She is right here. That's where I used to live. Ridiculous. They were never there before. I had this confrontation with this man named Nayron Sean's parking lot. There's a sheriff's office right there. Again, here they are driving over to my residence again. I go to the window. I'm going to do dishes. I'm going to do the dishes at the sink. I look out the window and there is right here, this freak. So, here are your employees underwater in the pool. Excuse me. This is it right here. underwater in the pool. I don't care if it's a private event. It's taxpayer dollars. You, Sheriff Todd Baxter, expend taxpayer dollars to take this picture. Everyone here is a Monroe County Sheriff Office employee who's on your Facebook page. What's the answer? Again, being where you're not supposed to be, ridiculous, lunatic fringe of him being at Wegmans. I'm going to the Goldsmith Airport. There's Wegmans, 2157 Pemphill Road. Here comes the Monroe County Sheriff Office employee driving by me. They're alongside this Wegmans all day long, just like they're at the Wegmans on East Avenue. Just like RPD is at the Wegmans on East Avenue. Just like MCSO and RPD is at the Walmart on Hudson Avenue. Coming to my residence again, man, my dog. When I adopted my little guy, my then girlfriend Laura, Lollipop Farm, Main Society, 2012. One of the questions we were asked when we lived in Webster's, have you been arrested? The answer is no. I am in fear. When I go back to Albany to go to a dog adoption society like the Saints at Lollipop, that I will not be able to adopt a dog. Because I will have to say yes, that I've been arrested. We're not going to know the facts and circumstances. It does not matter that a prosecutor's never talked in court. And I've been arrested 6 times, and 6 times a prosecutor hasn't talked in court. I will not be able to adopt a dog when I move back to Albany because through a background check investigation on me, that I will fail, even though I have been an innocent man my whole life. This is because of Nehra Shah, Layla Kumar Shah, going to the sheriff's office about that parking lot I've walked through 4,000 times, and then calling the sheriff's office to come seize my dog. My neighbor watched this. One of my neighbors. My neighbor watched what you freaks and sociopaths at the sheriff's office were doing to me. And after I slammed the door, he came over a little while later, and we had a conversation. And because he heard the confrontation at the front door, why don't you just call me on the phone? So as far as being in places you're not supposed to be, you're at Wegmans, you're not supposed to be at Wegmans. You're at Walmart, you're not supposed to be at Walmart. Todd Baxter. You're in places you're not supposed to be all the time, like Ryan Fisher in Atlanta, Georgia. Freedom of Information Law on January 18, 2023. This is Michael Fowler and Corey Brown in Saratoga. Then, the cost of taxpayers of Saratoga Springs if Sheriff Todd Baxter through expenditure of taxpayer officers attending under Sheriff's Training Conference at Gideon Putnam Hotel in Saratoga Springs. What's the answer? I don't know. I saw this online. It was an Undersheriff's Training Conference. Have you ever been to Saratoga, Todd Baxter? Because you testified before the House Rules Committee in Washington, D.C. that has nothing to do with law enforcement. They just deposited you in the Rules Committee because they didn't want anything to do with you on judiciary. So did you go to this thing? The reason why I'm showing this again is I don't know. How many times you been out of Monroe County, Todd Baxter? How many times you been out of New York? Just like Corey Brown and Michael Fowler going to Saratoga. Just like Ryan Fisher going to Atlanta, Georgia. The District Attorneys Association State of New York Summer Conference. You go to that same floor. So, over and over and over, demanding information from you. I'm going to finish up now. This is on every foil I read here. You got it on August 23rd. So this YouTube, that's now 38 minutes. You know what I'm talking about here the whole time? You know, the whole time I'm talking about corruption. You're corrupted District Attorney's Office. You're corrupted Sheriff's Office. You hate the human condition. Because of my landlord, Anthony, on spot, locking the doors and locking me out, I'm having it closed. There are 10 tags in here. When I have to go to the Goodwill in Rochester, New York, I'm thinking about you freaks and sociopaths at that District Attorney's Office prosecuting me in total silence the whole time. Comply with the Freedom of Information Law, disclose the names of my prosecutors, with silence. My name is Christopher Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I've been an innocent man my whole life.